You know that feeling, that sense that you're right on the edge of something new, but you're not quite sure what it is or when it's coming? It's this weird space, right? Filled with both excitement and a little bit of anxiety. Well, today we're going to unpack a single source that's kind of like a guide for navigating that exact feeling. It's a simple card, but its message is really, really profound. Let's see what it has to say.
And here it is. This is our source for today's explainer, a card that's just called Change. But right on its surface, it lays out a whole three-part philosophy for life's big transitions. So let's treat it like a map and explore each part one by one and see how they all fit together. All right, so let's start with the first, and honestly, the most reassuring message this card has to offer. It doesn't begin with a challenge or a warning. It starts with a promise. And it's all about getting into a mindset of being open, of being ready to receive whatever's coming next.
I mean, just feel the optimism in that statement. It doesn't just say, hey, change is coming. It specifies a change for the better. And the instruction, it's so simple but so deep. Embrace it. You know, psychologically, this is all about positive framing. It's not about bracing for impact. It's about opening your arms. It's a conscious choice to believe that what's around the corner is actually here to help you, which can literally change how you see and react to opportunities when they show up.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's one thing to embrace something once it's here and you can see that it's good. But how do you keep that open, welcoming vibe when you're just stuck in life's waiting room with absolutely no sign of what's to come? Well, that question leads us right into the second secret on the card.
So yeah, the card pretty much anticipates that question. It dives right into what is often the absolute hardest part of any transformation, that in-between time, that quiet period right before the breakthrough finally happens.
We've all been there. We all know this feeling. You've set an intention, you're hoping for something better, but on the surface, crickets, nothing. It can be so frustrating, like you're just spinning your wheels. This card gets that. It validates that feeling, letting us know that, yeah, the stillness can be the toughest part of the entire journey.
And this is where the card asks us to have a little faith, to trust in a reality that's bigger than what we can see right now. Think about it like a plant. For weeks, a seed can be buried underground with zero visible signs of life. But beneath the surface, there's this incredible, complex process happening. Roots are forming, energy is building up. Or, think of it like computer code compiling. You hit run, and for a second, it seems like nothing's happening, but the system is working like crazy behind the scenes to build the program. The most critical work is so often the invisible work. So let's just give this a name. Let's call it the unseen process. It's this idea that all your efforts, all your intentions are building the foundation for your next big step, even when you can't see any of the construction. Trusting this process really is an act of faith. But faith doesn't mean you're powerless. And that brings us to the card's final and most crucial secret. Okay, this brings us to the final and I think most empowering piece of the puzzle. The card now makes a huge pivot. It shifts us from a passive stance, embracing and trusting, to one of active participation. It basically hands the power right back to you. Wow, this is such a powerful call to action. After telling us to embrace what's coming and to trust the process, the card reminds us that we are not just passengers on this ride. This is about shifting to what psychologists call an internal locus of control. It's the belief that you have real agency over what happens in your life. So if the change you're waiting for seems to be taking forever, maybe, just maybe, it's waiting for you to make the first move. So how do you actually do that? First, clarify your vision. Get crystal clear on the change you really want. Doing that actually primes your brain to start noticing opportunities related to it. Second, take one deliberate action. Not some giant leap, okay? Just one real concrete step today that lines up with that vision. And third, embody the new reality. Start acting like the person who's already made the change. This isn't fake it till you make it. It's about aligning your identity with your intention. So, we've looked at three really big ideas here: embracing the future, trusting the process, and being the catalyst. But here's the thing, they're not just separate instructions. They're all parts of a single integrated path for how to move forward. Let's see how it all connects. And here you can see the whole picture. It all starts with having an open heart, right? That's embracing the promise. Then it requires patience. That's trusting the process during those super quiet times. And finally, it demands that you recognize your own power, stepping up to be the catalyst when it's time to act.
So, ultimately, what this card teaches us is that change isn't just one thing. It's a dance. It's this dynamic partnership between surrendering and taking action, between having patience and taking initiative, and knowing when to lean into each one of those. Well, that's the real art of navigating transformation. So, the final question isn't just about what you've learned, but about what you're going to do. If you look at your own life right now, which of these three pillars, embracing, trusting, or acting, needs a little more of your attention today? The answer to that question could be the very key that unlocks everything for you.